Good day everyone. Today we were going to talk about teaching profession. Teaching profession can be regarded in three ways. First, teaching as your vocation. Second, teaching as your mission. And third is teaching as your profession. Now first, let us talk about what is teaching as your vocation. Based on the etymology, vocation comes from the Latin word vocare, which means to call. Teaching is more than a noble profession. It is a vocation or a call. If there is a call, there must be caller, and someone who is called, there must also be a response. Some people might believe, like for believers, they believe that their caller is the God Himself, And for the non-believers, the caller might be a man calling another man. Vocation is a strong feeling of suitability for a particular career or occupation. When someone practices teaching as your vocation, they teach with dedication. If teaching is your vocation, then it means you said yes to your call to teach, and you commit yourself in the total transformation of the learner, and you consider teaching as a lifetime commitment, thus adjure the years toward quality teaching. Now, teaching may not guarantee financial security, but love of teaching is served as a motivating factor to many teachers. The years teaching has remained inspiring and fulfilling. In summary, vocation is only for some who are really dedicated, or just to work but also to serve other people. Have you ever dreamed of being a teacher? So, next, let us talk about teaching as your mission. Based on the etymology, the word mission comes from the Latin word missio, which means to send. And according to Webster Dictionary, the word mission is defined as a task assigned. You are called to be a teacher, and you are sent into the world to accomplish a mission, and that is to teach. Now, if teaching is your mission, then it means that it is the task entrusted to you in this world, and it is your assigned task, thus you've got to prepare for it, and it calls for a continuing professional education. What exactly is the mission to teach? In the words of Alfred North Whitehead, is teaching to help the child become the man of culture or of expertise? And according to also Bertrand Russell, is it to provide opportunities for the child's growth and so remove hampering influence? Now, to teach is to influence every child interested in your care to become better and happier, because life becomes more meaningful. And to teach is to help child become more human. So what exactly is our mission? Our mission is to be an effective educator or facilitator of learning, imparting knowledge that is not just what written in books but also in life. Our mission is to touch hearts and minds while leading children to be a better individual who have a strong desire to contribute to the betterment of the society and serve the country. Now, teaching as your profession. The elements of a profession. The word profession is synonymous to occupation, job, career, work, and line of work. The word professional means a long and arduous years of preparation of striving for excellence, a dedication to public interest, and commitment to moral and ethical values. Why does a profession requires long and arduous years of preparation and a striving for excellence? The answer is for us to be able to give more service, which is the end goal of our profession. Continuing professional education is a must. And this saying is also affirmed by Pope Paul VI. We cannot give what we do not have, do more, have more in order to be more. If you consider teaching as a profession, then you must be willing to go through a long period of preparation. You must be willing to go through continuing education, which is continuous development of potentials. And you also commit yourself to moral, ethical, and religious values about and dedicate yourself to service. Teaching and a life of meaning. Teaching may not be a lucrative position. It cannot guarantee financial security. It even means investing your personal time, energy, and resources. Sometimes, it means disappointment, heartache, and pains. But touching the hearts of people and opening the minds of children can give you joy and contentment which money could not buy. These are the moments I teach for. These are the moments.
Good day everyone, so I am Rachelin Hubahib and today I am going to talk about NCBTS or National Competency Based Teacher Standards. So we all know that the teacher is primarily meant for the classroom to teach, and to function well in the classroom, teachers must be equipped with competencies. Competencies refers to knowledge, skills, and attitudes that a teacher ought to possess to perform their tasks satisfactorily. And these competencies are captured and presented in the National Competency-Based Standards Framework. So what is NCBTS? NCBTS is a set of competencies such as behaviors, attitudes, and skills that each teacher must possess to function effectively and satisfactorily. Moreover, it is an integrated theoretical framework that defines the different dimensions of effective teaching, where effective teaching means being able to help all types of students learn the different learning goals on the curriculum. So why do we need NCBTS? NCBTS provides a single framework that defines effective teaching. It minimizes confusion about what effective teaching is, and it is a better guide for all teacher development programs and projects. The development of NCBTS is a very helpful tool to all teachers. Through NCBTS, teachers can reflect on their current teaching practices or create new teaching practices. NCBTS or National Competency-Based Teacher Standards is divided into 7 domains that represent the desired features of teaching and learning process. These domains incorporate a series of 21 strands of desired teaching performance statements, which can be defined as 80 performance indicators that are observable indicators of the quality of a teacher's performance. And here is the 7 domains of INSI-BTS. First domain is social regard for learning. Second domain is the learning environment. Third domain is the diversity of learners. Fourth domain is the curriculum. Fifth domain is the planning, assessing, and reporting. Sixth domain is the community linkages. And the last domain, which is the 7, which is personal growth and professional development. Now let's talk first about the domain 1, which is social regard for learning. Domain 1 focuses on the ideal that the teachers serve as positive and powerful role models of the values of the pursuit of learning. And we have here this strand, which acts as a positive role model for students. In this domain, teachers are a constant presence in a child's life. They influence children as much as parents do. And as a teacher, you're not just an educator, but you are a role model who inspire and motivate children outside in the classroom as much as they impart knowledge inside it. Domain 2, which is the learning environment. This domain focuses on importance of providing for social, psychological, and physical environment, within which all students, regardless of their individual differences in learning, can engage the different learning activities and work towards attaining high standards of learning. And this domain consists of 4 strands. We have here 2.1, creates an environment that promotes fairness. 2.2, makes physical environment safe and conducive. 2.3, communicates higher learning expectations to each learner. And 2.4, maintains consistent standards of learners' behavior. As a teacher, it is important that you have a positive classroom environment, as this helps the students to improve attention, reduce anxiety, and supports emotional and behavioral regulation. When educators foster a positive learning environment, learners are more likely to acquire higher motivation that leads to wonderful learning outcomes. Next domain we have is domain 3, which is diversity of learners. This domain emphasizes the idea that the teachers can facilitate the learning process in diverse learners by first recognizing and respecting individual differences. And this domain consists of 2 strands. First is accepts the learner's background knowledge and experiences, and second is demonstrate concern for holistic development. In this domain, this means that diversity is in the classroom, and as a teacher, you need to consider the genders, races, language, backgrounds, religion, and so on. You should get to know your students, practice cultural sensitivity, and give them freedom and flexibility. Moreover, design or select learning experiences suited to different kinds of learners, acknowledge, respect every student, and treat them fairly. Now, let's go on to domain 4, which is curriculum. This domain refers to all elements of the teaching and learning process that work in convergence to help students understand the curricular goals and objectives and to attain high standards of learning defined in the curriculum. And this domain consists of 7 strands. So 4.1, demonstrate mastery of the subject. 4.2, communicates clear learning goals for the lesson. 4.3, makes good use of allotted instructional time. 4.4, selects teaching methods, activities, and instructional materials. 4.5, teacher recognize general learning processes. 4.6, teacher promotes purposive study. And the last one, 4.7, teacher demonstrates skills in the use of ICT. In this domain, as a teacher, you need to deliver accurate and updated methodologies, approaches, and strategies. You should set appropriate learning goals, establish routines and procedures to maximize the allotted time, provide activities, and use materials appropriate to the learners and to the learning objectives. Now let's go on to the domain 5, which is planning, assessing, and reporting. This domain, which is planning, assessing, and reporting, refers to the the alignment of assessment and planning activities. And this domain consists of 3 strands. So we have here 5.1, communicates promptly to learners, parents, and superiors. 5.2, develops variety of appropriate assessment strategies. 5.3, monitors regularly and provides feedback. There's a lot of tools in planning, assessing, and reporting. And as a teacher, you should implement instruction as planned, employs non-traditional assessment techniques such as portfolio, journals, rubrics, and so on. And you should also conduct regular meetings with learners and parents to report learners' progress. Next domain is domain 6, which is community linkages. The domain of community linkages focuses on the ideal that classroom activities are meaningfully linked to the experiences and aspirations of the students and their homes and communities. And this domain consists only one strand, which is establishes learning environments. We all know that school is a part of community. Therefore, we need to have a great linkage with the community, families, or stakeholders. Example for this is participating in community activities that promote learning. And through this will increase learning opportunities for students. And the last domain that we have now is domain 7, which is personal growth and professional development. This domain emphasizes the ideal that teachers value having a high personal regard for the teaching profession, concern for professional development, and continuous improvement as teachers. And this domain consists 3 strands, and these are 7.1 takes pride in the novelty of teaching, 7.2 builds professional links with colleagues, and the last strands, which is attainment of professional development goals. Good teachers become great teachers by going beyond the call of duty and beyond the textbook. To do this, he or she must continue their education. As a teacher, you should attend professional development workshops, seminars, or conferences. And these workshops or seminars will help create an effective learning environment, improve teaching learning situations, further enhance their overall growth and improvement, keep updated on modern instructional devices, and inspire them to become better teachers in the modern world.
Hello everyone, my name is Charity Delicano, and today I'm going to tackle about the Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher. So what is Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher is all about? So let's talk about it. The Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers serves as guide for teachers, specifically to new teachers, for them to exhibit proper behavior to the learning community at all times. It is imperative that you observe and practice this set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. In everyday life, you're confronted with the challenges to do the right thing. When you are faced with professional decisions that seem to have ethical implications, there are conditions and provisions of the Code of Ethics that will guide you to determine the best actions. So Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher is based on the Resolution number 435 of 1997, paragraph Article 2 of Republic Act number 7836 as Philippines Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994, and paragraph Section 6 PD number 233 as amended. The Board for Professional Teachers hereby adopts the Code of Ethics for Professional Teachers. So for you, who is professional teacher? So, professional teacher is a licensed professional who possesses dignity and reputation with high moral values as well as technical and professional competence. He or she adheres to, observes, and practices a set of ethical and moral principles, standards, and values. There are 13 articles in Code of Ethics for Professional Teacher. So let's start. Article 1. Scope and Limitations. all educational institutions shall offer quality education for all Filipino citizens. This code covers all public and private school teachers in all educational institutions at the preschool, primary, elementary, and secondary levels, whether academic, vocational, special, technical, or non-formal. It shall include industrial art or vocational teachers and all other persons performing supervisory and/or administrative functions in all school at the aforesaid levels, whether on full-time or part-time. For example, is the principal and the school superintendent. So the next article is Article 2, the teacher and the state. Here, the teacher is said to build every individual's national morality to the love of the country, to the extent that they are aware of their surroundings and obey the laws implemented by the country. It is believed that schools are the nurseries of the citizens of the state. Therefore, teachers shall nurture and elevate patriotism and nationalism towards the learners. Aside from the teachers must be able to fully transmit cultural and educational heritage to their learners. Teacher must also be role model when it comes to human rights and responsibilities. Article 3. The teacher and the community. Teacher must be able to provide an environment that is conducive to learning and growth of the youth. They are the guides of the youth to becoming better and successful people in the future. Their services aren't limited inside the classroom only, though it extends to the community. By this, they must be active as a leader in the community and must be involved when it comes to matters affecting the welfare of the people. Article 4. The teacher and the profession. Being a professional teacher is a serious matter. They must love and embrace their profession wholeheartedly. In addition to that, they must be dedicated, for it is part of their pride. Every teacher must have this attitude of having an open mind while being aware of continuous growth for betterment. Article 5. The teacher and the teaching community. Teacher must work with each other, for they make up one community. They shall be imbued with a spirit of professional loyalty, mutual confidence, faith in one another, self-sacrifice for the common good, and full cooperation with colleagues. When the best interest of the learners, the school, or the profession is at stake in any controversy, teachers shall support one another. Also, they shall refrain from any unprofessional or unethical conduct which may lead to violation of the provision. Article 6. The teacher and the higher authorities in the Philippines. Teacher must be honest and respectful. They are also expected to be knowledgeable and must understand the policies implemented in the school which they are working with. They shall not make any false accusation unless they find faults or injustice or superiors. In that case, they must speak or raise their grievances within the democratic process. Also, they have the right to seek redress against injustice and discrimination, but shall avoid jeopardizing the interest and welfare of the learners. Article 7. School officials, teachers, and other personnel. Being a teacher, you should consider your co-teachers and other personnel in achieving the goals of education. They must be treated with courtesy, consideration, and mutual respect. If teachers stand as light to the students' dark path, school officials are the ones who stand as guides of the teachers. They provide for the needs of the teacher, and they ensure that they keep the professionalization of teacher on track. Article 8. The teacher and the learner. So the teachers must be fair to their students. They shall recognize that the interest and welfare of the learners as their first and foremost concern, and shall handle each learner justly and impartially. Also, they are to ensure that the maximum development of learners is adequate. As second parents, they must extend needed assistance by preventing and solving learners' problems and difficulties. Teachers must maintain confidentiality unless a scenario warrants involvement from parents, school administration, or law enforcement, and never use relationships with students for personal gain. Article 9. The teacher and the parents. Teachers teachers must keep in touch with the parents of their learners by building a good relationship via communication. It will build a better understanding between them, which will help with the learner's development and will diminish unfair criticism. Article 10. The teacher and business. Every teacher has the right to do business as long as it's not affecting his or her work. They should also maintain a good reputation with respect to financial matters. Article 11. The teacher as a person. Teachers must always look up to Almighty God or being as their guide of their own destiny. They should also live with dignity and as powerful role model to the community. They must live with a very good personality and be an inspiration to people around them. Article 12. Disciplinary action. Any violation of any provision of this code shall be sufficient ground for the imposition against the erring teacher of the disciplinary action consisting of revocation of his certificate of registration and license as a professional teacher, suspension from the practice of teaching profession, or reprimand or cancellation of his temporary special permit under causes specified in Section 23, Article 3, or Republic Act No. 7836, and under Rule 31, Article 8 of the Rules and Regulations implementing in Republic Act 7836. Article 13. Effectivity. This code shall take effect upon approval by the Professional Regulation Commission and after 60 days following its publication in the Official Gazette or any newspaper of general circulation, whichever is earlier.